Hello, and welcome to Talking One Piece. And today's video is going to be about my top 10 favorite devil fruits. Now, of course, this is my opinion. I would love to hear yours. I'm going to be basing this on the power of the devil fruit, the creativity of it, my personal feelings of, the fruit and its powers, how would I like to have it or not. And also, the character will have a big part in my decision. How cool or how they use the abilities. And without further ado, let's move on to my honorable mentions. First up, we have Aokiji, his Ice fruit. Now, any ice ability is going to be pretty highly regarded, and Aokiji's use of this power is, through the roof. The way he freezes the tsunamis in Marineford, the way he freezes Whitebeard and Doflamingo instantaneously, definitely deserves a mention from me. Another honorable mention is Aokainu's Magma fruit. This fruit's even stronger than the Flame fruit. It is so powerful, barely anything could stand up to it. Aokainu, who uses it, is an absolute beast with it. The meteors that he sends flying down, just extremely awesome, extremely powerful. Definitely deserves a mention. Next, a personal favorite of mine, Smoker's Smoke fruit. Now, this ability isn't that strong. He can do what any Logia basically can do, be intangible, but the smoke doesn't really damage. It's not like fire or anything, but it's extremely cool. Him being able to turn smoke, the attacks he sort of does and everything, and the character Smoke really make it cool and creative sort of power. And last in my honorable mentions is Kuma's Pawpaw fruit. This is extremely creative of a fruit. He has paws on his hands, allowing him to reflect attacks, allowing him to reflect damage and pain itself, being able to reflect atmosphere into a little bowl in which he does Ursa's Shock, which goes into a huge explosion. He can even reflect people and himself to different places, and sometimes even different countries. Crazy ability. I'm surprised it didn't make it in, but these 10 that I'm just about to say are just too good. And without further ado, let's go into them. Number 10, Blackbeard's Dark fruit, or Yummy Nomi. This ability is apparently the strongest Logia. He can nullify devil fruits. He can suck things up, crush them, and then expel them through liberation. He can draw people to him in order to nullify ability, so it's hard to avoid him. This ability is so cool. The way the darkness looks is extremely cool. I had to put it on the list. The reason why it's not so high on the list is because with the introduction of Haki, it doesn't seem that amazing that Blackbeard can hit Logias at the moment, and we haven't seen that the pinnacle of the Dark Fruit ability, which I know that it's going to be an extremely powerful ability, and it does things that we don't know yet. But for now, number 10. Next, number 9, Kizaru's Light fruit. He can move the speed of light. He shoots light beams that explode and can destroy a whole building, destroyed that huge tree in Archipelago. Crazy ability. I don't know what else to say. This guy can move the speed of light. I think a lot of people say he has it. The light fruit is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful Devil Fruits around. So yeah, definitely deserves to be in top 10. At number 8 is Marco's Phoenix Fruit. Speaking of creative and unique, this guy turns into a phoenix, but his flames don't burn but heal. He can heal instantaneously while he flies and attacks. It's one of the most coolest looking Devil Fruits. The fact that he can fly and look like this phoenix, and then use his kicks to send his enemies flying is extremely awesome. It's my favorite Zoan, a mythical Zoan at that, and definitely deserves his place in my top 10. At number 7, the Lightning Fruit, eaten by Enel. This guy can practically move the speed of light like Kizaru, but the fact that it's lightning just makes it that little bit more cooler. Well, let's face it, for me, a lot more cooler. He basically destroyed the whole Straw Hat crew. Would have defeated Luffy if he wasn't invulnerable to lightning. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And I love creativity, and even if it's not that creative of an ability, which lightning isn't, the fact that he can do some cool stuff with it that I've never thought of before. Like, he restarts his own heart. He revives himself. Like a defibrillator. Like, that's too cool. Definitely deserves a place in my top 10. Next, at number 6, is my favorite Logia, the Fire Fruit, eaten by Ace and Sabo. This power, fire has always been my favorite element, and this fruit does not let me down in terms of fire abilities. From one of my favorite attacks, Flame Emperor, to Fire Pillar, to even the Firefly attack, which I thought was an extremely creative attack, where it says Ace did it, he shot these green balls, which then explode. Just too cool. Blew my mind when I saw it. Yeah, too awesome. At number 5 is the Gum no Nomi, the Gum Fruit, eaten by Luffy. Now, if someone explained the Gum Fruit to me, it would never be in my top 10. But what Luffy has done with it, a perfect example of the user, and how much the user can elevate the fruit. Gear second. He uses the elasticity of his body to pump the blood around his body at an extreme rate, making him move faster, making him think faster, making him attack faster and stronger. Gear third, blowing up his bones to punch like a giant. Gear fourth, expanding his muscles and using it with Haki. It's just things that most awesome things I've ever seen. And yeah, even your foe attack, your Gum Balloon, Gum Net, just all the attacks he's done, Gatling, Red Hawk, just really awesome. You can basically attack like Ace and Sabo just by heating up his fist and embedding it with Haki. So yeah, it's my number 5. And number 4 is Fujitori's Gravity Fruit. I don't think this has a proper name, but I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be Gravity Fruit. This is too cool of an ability. From what we've seen, it seems more effective in the Dark Fruit, which I know the Dark Fruit is going to be more dangerous and more important down the line. But what Fujitora has done with the Gravity Fruit is so cool, especially using his sword. He can send down a huge meteorite in an instant. He can pin people down on the ground and arrest them. He can send people flying through the ground. He can send gravity horizontally. He can lift himself up and lift boats up. I'm sure I'm missing out on things. It's the most coolest thing. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. So awesome. And now I'm up to my top 3. These ones are like off the chain. At number 3 is Doflamingo String Fruit. Now, this is one of the most creative fruits I've ever seen. He can cut things with his strings. He can create clones of himself. He can create a bird cage which can close in and kill everyone. He can repair his insides. He can shoot them as bullets. He can use them as parasites to control people like puppets. It's the most coolest things. Like what I saw from Jess Rosa. I would never thought string ability would be high up there, but it just, as I was watching it, and every time he used it, I was like, it just kept rising up my ladder. And yeah, he made his place, and the string fruit made its place to number 3. At number 2, I think this is arguably the most creative ability in all of One Piece. I think a lot of people would probably put this at the top of their list. It is Law's Up Fruit. He creates a room in which he can control and manipulate anything within it. He can cut things in it. He can move things around in it. He can teleport things in it. He can pull people's hearts out and squeeze them. He can apparently give someone immortality. The Gammon Knife. These moves I've never seen in any other series before. This ability is one of the most creative powers I've ever seen in anything. And yeah, if it wasn't for my personal feelings for this next power, it would have to be number 1. But it just missed out, and the time has come. At number 1 is, drumroll, Whitebeard's Quake Fruit, the Gura Normie. Gura. This ability, it doesn't allow you to do that much creative things with it, but what you can do with it is still pretty creative. He can send quakes into anything: the ground, the sky, the ocean, people. Sengoku even said this power is strong enough to destroy the entire planet. When he grabs the giant's head and then focuses this orb of quakes and then just crushes his skull. When he focuses his fist into an orb of quakes and then punches Akainu, warping his body. And my favorite attack in all of One Piece is when Whitebeard, using the Quake fruit, the Tremor fruit, grabs the air and then spins like the whole world around, making everyone fly around, making the oceans warped and distorted. Basically makes the whole island turn on its side. It's, 100% my favorite devil fruit. And that's all. Hope you liked. Please like, subscribe, comment. Please request any video ideas relating to One Piece, and I'll definitely do them. And that's all, guys. As always, keep talking One Piece.